don't know what's going to happen. So I might as well just sit back and stay in New Jersey for the next week, 2 weeks, or a month. Who knows?
In case you missed it, the airports are in shambles and flyers are pissed. Due to the government shutdown, on Friday, November 7th, the FAA announced that 40 airports will have the number of flights reduced. Because of the shutdown, air traffic controllers and TSA agents are in the group of federal workers that aren't being paid. Now, this has led to the air traffic controllers and TSA agents calling out sick and not coming to work. And for those that are still working, or should I say volunteering because they're not being paid, for those that are still showing up, they're completely overwhelmed and overworked. Now that the FAA has cut flights, let's take a look at these airports, the travelers, and let's see how they're doing. Let's see what the people have to say. But before we get into these videos, I just want to say, hey, my name is Miss April May, and I hope you're having a blessed day. If this is your first time visiting my channel, thanks for stopping by. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Either way, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Now, let's go.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be heading back to Atlanta right now. We are all going to get off the airplane. I don't know how long that delay is going to be, but so everybody needs to take all of your stuff with you in case this isn't the plane we end up back on our way to Atlanta tonight. But treat it like you made it to Atlanta. Stand up, grab your stuff, and work your way out to the gate. Hang close to the gate for a little bit, and we'll get an update. We'll make an announcement, and then we'll go from there. Appreciate your patience.
So as you can see, some passengers are still being allowed on planes, but then what happens is that they sit on the tarmac for hours because the flights are delayed. So on top of flights being canceled, if you go to the airport and then your flight is delayed and you're sitting on the tarmac, right? People tend to get very, very upset about that, right? If we're going to cancel the flight, like let's just cancel the flight. Why let me onto the plane? Or if the flight is going to be delayed by so long, why let people on the planes? That part I just don't understand.
Hey guys, don't fly right now. Don't do it. If I need to see another fucking video from a flight attendant, someone in air traffic control, a pilot saying not to fly right now, please listen. Don't fucking fly right now. Not only is it not safe, you're helping our air traffic controllers who are so overworked, they are unaliving themselves right now. They are not being paid, yet being forced to work 6-7 days a week, really long fucking shifts, barely able to even keep their eyes open, and they are saying themselves it is not safe to fly. And it is getting to the point where most of these people have been unpaid so long, they can't even afford gas to get to work. They can't even strike because it's illegal. The only option they have right now is to call out sick. And so many of them are forced to do that right now because they can't keep their fucking eyes open. This is one of the most stressful jobs you can possibly have. And it's at the point where they have to work other jobs. There are not enough people watching our airspace right now for it to be safe. And the people who are watching are losing their goddamn fucking minds and are telling you not to fly. So help them out and stay safe and don't fly. I know this is really fucking hard during the holidays, but our airspace isn't safe, and this is affecting every major airport in the country. Almost all of them have been canceling flights this week en masse. It is not safe to fly.
Do not fly right now. I'm trying to tell y'all, some people are missing the point here. I even want to hop my tail on a flight to New York City to celebrate reaching 100,000 followers, but I cannot do that. You know why? Because people are advising me that it is not in my best interest to do so. Like, I'm just saying don't fly right now. Not because we have confirmed that airports are officially shutting down or whatever the case may be, but airlines are shutting down, meaning no flights are going out, meaning flights are getting canceled left and right, meaning they're advising you that if you do not want a horrible flying experience, which people have that in general on a regular day, if you don't want a horrible flying experience, do not fly right now. I know a lot of y'all got some big things coming up, that's what happens. That's what happens with Earth. Let me tell you something about Earth. Earth will throw you a curveball so crazy. You don't even have a chance to prepare. All this that's going on right now, none of us was prepared for this. We didn't know this was going to happen like this. We didn't know this was going to go down like this. You got to pivot. You got to switch up some plans. You got to take a different route.
I gotta say, I definitely see her point, right? Being an air traffic controller, for example, is already a very stressful job. And now we are adding more stress to them, right? They're not getting paid. Imagine going to work every day and not getting paid. That's already one type of stress. And then you have your coworkers who are calling out sick because they're like, I'm not getting paid, so I'm not coming to work, right? Can't blame them. So that's even more stress on top of an already stressful job. If you have the option to not fly right now, that's the option I would take. If you can drive or, take Amtrak, for example, even though 2025, we don't have a high speed railway system, like, what's that about? But if you can use other options, like, I would do that. I wouldn't be getting on a plane right now when it's not safe. Like, why should air traffic controllers and also TSA agents, the people who check everything out and are basically the security of the air, right? Why would I want to get on a plane when many of these people are not at work? They are there for our safety, air traffic control and TSA. They are there for our safety and for the safety, of the passengers and of the flight crew. And that safety is now gone. So I wouldn't get on a plane if I didn't have to.
Two planes almost collided when trying to take off from LAX today. Hundreds of air traffic staff have been resigning weekly, and flights are being delayed by the hour. They finna bust this government wide open by next week. I guarantee it. They don't care about health benefits for the poor. They don't care about making sure that people eat in America. But once they're not able to fly for their leisure, oh, they finna lose it. And not to mention that money is about to be lost. That's the bottom line. Remember, money. This is all about money. You think that they're going to allow this to continue while their pockets are hurting? Listen, I know that this should not be the priority when there are other things that clearly need to be prioritized. But if this is what is going to take for them to open it back up and give people what they need, fuck it. Let's see if everybody's attitude changed at the end of next week. Because I have a feeling it's going to.
So, will the government reopen by the end of next week, like he's saying? We'll just have to wait and see. I would love it if it did, or hopefully even earlier. Who knows? We'll see. But I think, like he said, until the powers that be, until their money is messed up, maybe it'll be the airlines who come to the government and say, hey, you need to fix this because we're losing money. Maybe at that point, something will happen. That will be interesting to see. But at the same time, something's telling me that this government shutdown is not done. Like, this might be a few more weeks. I don't know. Something's telling me, because also the powers that be, they have private flights, right? They have their own planes and they can charter planes. So the only thing is like, they could feel unsafe because the air traffic controllers aren't really at work the way that they usually are. But unless they feel unsafe and unless their flights are being impacted, they don't care. They just don't care.
Just a little airport update. We got to the airport 3 to 4 hours before our flight because all the TikTok scared us. Everyone kept saying that TSA lines were crazy and blah, blah, blah. We got through TSA in 15 minutes. So I don't know if that was a fluke, but do with that information what you will.
All right, so the fake news has me at Bush Intercontinental Airport at noon for a 2:55 flight, when in reality, things are moving right along. But it's cool. I'm going to go sit at a restaurant and waste some time. But yeah, don't believe everything you see. It may have been true for that moment, but it's certainly not true right now. I'm in Terminal C at Bush Airport in Houston, Texas.
Everybody fear-mongering. Look at that. TSA ain't even that bad. Why everybody all scared, tripping. Fake news, baby. The fake news. Skipping lines over here, baby. Fake news.
So in terms of it being a fluke that there are delays and cancellations at airports, it could just be a fluke. You could just be the lucky person who is going to and from an airports that aren't impacted, right? You could just be lucky. But we also have to remember that these cancellations and delays are only for domestic flights. So I believe international flights aren't affected. And then there are some airports that aren't affected. There are 40 airports that the FAA has decided to cut flights from. So it may or may not be your airport that you're going to and from. And like, let's stop calling this like fake news just because you're at an airport that doesn't have like super long lines and a lot of delays. This is not fake news. We need to remember that if flights have been canceled, then those people on those canceled flights aren't going to show up to the airport, meaning that you may see normal or short lines like you're used to seeing at the airport, right? Could just mean that those people on canceled flights just didn't come to the airport. That would make sense. And then also, I would like to note in true American fashion, we're only worried about convenience. We're only worried about whether or not the lines are long or short. That's convenience. It's like some people are missing the point. And the point is that we're in a government shutdown. Air traffic controllers aren't being paid. TSA agents aren't being paid because we're in a government shutdown. Don't miss the point, people. Don't miss the point. So just because you aren't impacted doesn't mean that there's not an issue going on. So that's all that I have for you today, but I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know, have you been to the airport in the last few days? How do the lines look? Are they long? Are they short? Have your flights been canceled or delayed? What's going on with you? Let me know in the comments. I would like to thank you for watching this video. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. My name is Miss April May, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
You're officially coming.